YouTube, how's it going? The Goat House is back, and we got an updated 2-round NFL mock draft. Two big trades up at the top here. What is it, the 12th of April? We're almost there, almost to the NFL draft. We got plenty of content on the way leading up to it, during it, with winners and losers, grades during the draft and after the draft as well. So we got you covered. Subscribe, follow Twitter for live talk during the draft, constant NFL updates, and a fan-voted mock draft going on right now. Check out walkthemock.com. You see underneath me if you sign up. Use code GOATHOUSE. Here's our Twitter, at GoatHouseNFL. Again, link pinned in the comments for anything you need. Make Twitter, follow it. Fan-voted mock draft going on. This one's almost over. It's the Cardinals. We're going on the next pick. And then we'll make a video. I'll react to your guys' mock drafts, so it should be a lot of fun. I'm going to explain all these picks. I don't have to explain the top couple. But yeah, I've updated this, and this feels really real, very realistic based on the buzz right now. There are, let's just go through it. Trevor Lawrence first, Zach Wilson second. It'll be a surprise if that doesn't happen, obviously. Third pick, I've been going on rants that I don't think it should be Mac Jones, and I kind of been saying I don't think it will be. I think it's a bunch of BS out there. It still doesn't feel right, but maybe I'm a sucker. I'm falling for the Mac Jones buzz out there. I just don't think there's any reason to smoke this. I don't know. You look at one side of it. Shanahan and John Lynch kind of know who they're picking, but they're not telling the rest of the organization. Meanwhile, the media thinks they know based on what they said. That makes it sound like it's not the obvious Mac Jones. But then the fact that they were seriously in on Sam Darnold, it kind of feels like Mac Jones is, another one of those typical Shanahan quarterbacks, just by the looks of him, I guess. And play style, even though Mac Jones has a lot of success on RPO, I don't see Shanahan turn to more RPO. That's what doesn't make sense to me. I think it should be Justin Fields. I'm okay with Trey Lance. I think Mac Jones could be good. I think he probably will be good for the 49ers if they pick him. It just doesn't seem like the right pick, though. You trade up for, you trade all that away for Mac Jones. Again, it's my prediction right now. It's a tough one. Fourth pick, yeah, interesting here. I know that a lot of the Falcons fan base, they don't want a quarterback, so this is tough. And a lot of buzz that a team could be trading up to number 4 for a quarterback. Patriots, Broncos, that's legit news right now. And what everyone's talking about right now, and this could be accurate, is the Patriots or the Broncos. One of those teams is going to wait until to see if their quarterback, whoever that is on the board before they trade up to 4, obviously. So it's going to be in draft trade, obviously. That's what everyone's saying. But what about the Falcons side? What if it's the Falcons are willing to trade that pick if their guy is off the board? Maybe they have a guy in place, and they may think the Niners are taking Trey Lance. Trey Lance is a perfect fit. We've talked about it before. Perfect fit in Arthur Smith's scheme. Matt Ryan, I'm thinking, is going to play 2 more years for the Falcons, and I know that's 2 years, but it's the right time. You're not going to be able to get a Trey Lance. It's 2 years are going to come, and Matt Ryan is declining right now. Doesn't feel like he's losing arm strength, but he cost them some games last year. Whether you want to believe it or not, it's the truth. And I think he can be a solid quarterback. I think he can win still right now, but you really got to start looking for this. The Falcons aren't going to be picking 4, next year, the year after. There's not going to be this draft class. Again, Trey Lance would go 1 or 2 in 95% of draft classes. You have a rare opportunity. You take it. They very well could stay put and take Kyle Pitts. They could trade back. I'm thinking it's more so they will trade back if their guy isn't there. I think they have a guy, and this is just it's just a gem of a fit. It's so rare that the Falcons are in this position. It's so rare, and I think that offense could be dominant with Trey Lance in the very near future. I wouldn't be against starting him right away, even though I don't think that would happen because they do have Matt Ryan. 5, Bengals. I'm sticking with Ja'Marr Chase. I keep talking about it. It just feels like they want to keep Jonah Williams at left tackle. They got Riley Reif at right tackle. Doesn't mean they can't draft a tackle. They very well could. And if they just decide that Jonah Williams is going to play guard, which they're not going to tell us that in the meantime, they're going to wait till after they make the picks to tell us that. But if they take a tackle, that means Jonah Williams is playing guard probably, and that kind of tells us a lot of things. But I keep saying it. They ran with 3 receivers, majority of snaps within a game, one of the highest in the NFL. I think them and the Cardinals, I want to say, just based on me watching. So they need another one. They need another number 1. It's one of those teams, and they got a good fit here with Ja'Marr Chase and some chemistry with Joe Burrow. Makes sense. Dolphins, I went with Kyle Pitts here. I keep saying that the Dolphins, I feel like have somebody in mind that they know they're going to get at 6. I think they have somebody in mind, but that they know they're going to get. Kyle Pitts, they don't know for sure they're going to get him, so that doesn't really fit that. But I think there's an exception they make. There's got to be, if they got a guy like Jaylen Waddle kind of stuck in their mind, they had to trade back up to make sure they're going to get him, but you only do that because you know he's going to be there. But a guy like Kyle Pitts falls through, I think they make that pick. I think they're fine with running Pitts and Gesicki and, those receivers. It's just, at the end of the day, he is just too damn talented to pass on. So, they may have somebody stuck in their mind. I wouldn't really agree with it. That would kind of blow the trade up, in my opinion. That great trade they did, if they just stayed stubborn, stayed firm with their guy that, they know for sure they can get. If there is that, they may have traded back and up again because there's multiple guys that they're good with getting. But most of the time, teams kind of they have an idea on somebody. And I hope they don't reach for somebody. You got to take Pitts in this scenario. Chargers, I have the Chargers trading up. The Lions are a trade back team, it looks like, and the Chargers desperately need a left tackle. Best left tackle in the class for me, Penei Sewell. It sounds like Slater, the buzz right now is the buzz is he's going to go ahead of Sewell. That doesn't mean he's guaranteed to go ahead, but people are saying that because based on the teams they've talked to, those big time people around the NFL, they told them Slater's better than Sewell, and he's going to go ahead of them. He's number one on their board. But I think it's only a handful of teams. We don't know who those teams are. It just depends on the team. In this scenario, I think the Chargers would have Sewell ahead of Slater. There's other teams that would have Slater ahead of Sewell. Understandable. But the Chargers trade up. They get, connection with Justin Herbert as well. They get their guy. I do have trade details with the Lions here. So the Chargers come up and get 7. The Lions move back to 13. They also get a second round pick. That's pretty good for the Lions there. You don't move back too far, and you gain that second round pick. Chargers need that left tackle to replace. They need multiple offensive linemen still. They have some other needs as well, but this is the big one here. This could be franchise changing, really. So they come up and do that. Definitely worth it. You see the value going up every year. So, I think the Lions get enough value at the second round pick, but the value, again, the trade value goes up in the draft every single year. That's why it's pretty hard to predict. So they could get more. That would be an absolute steal for the Lions potentially, but worth it obviously for the Chargers there. So they get Penei Sewell, and then I have back-to-back trades. I think the Panthers are another team that would like Sewell over Slater. Maybe they'll be good with Slater. I just view Sewell as a fit for them at left tackle. And I think they'll view that as well. They got Sam Darnold now, so it looks like they're targeting offensive lineman, maybe a cornerback. The Patriots unable to trade up with the Falcons in this scenario because the Falcons guy fell to them. He didn't go to the Niners. They took him. And this is better for the Patriots anyways because you don't really need to trade up that high. 4, 5, 6, 7 aren't really taking quarterbacks. Or 5, 6, 7, we don't think are taking quarterbacks. So Patriots come up with the Panthers. They get their guy, Justin Fields. They may like Trey Lance a little more, but this quarterback class is that good where I think they'll be good. They'll be fine with Trey Lance, Justin Fields, Mac Jones, and obviously the first two are going to be gone. That's how good this quarterback class is. Trade details is very similar to the other one, 8-15 swap. It's going to be a second-round pick again. Again, the value goes up every year. I think it's plenty of value here for the Panthers, but again, it could be a little more. That could be fantastic. This one, the Panthers don't absolutely have to trade back here. This is one where the Lions felt definitely made sense. Panthers, because Sewell was off the board, it made sense. So the Panthers may ask for more or just stay put. It's a possibility. But Justin Fields, a chance to start right away, really over Cam Newton, I would think, I think most of us would think, and that would help them out. Only give up a second-round pick. If they have to go up to 4, there's a huge, huge difference between 8 and 4. Going up to 8, going up to 4. They'd have to give up at least one future first-round pick. That 4th overall pick is very, very, very valuable. So this could be a win for them. I think fans would see that for the Patriots at least. Moving on to the next group of picks. The Broncos would like a quarterback. I don't know if they'll trade away the house to get up to 4. And again, I think the Falcons could want to stay put if their guy is still there. And then, I don't think they're going to trade up one spot. They'll take their chances. They could. We've seen it before. But the Patriots jump them, and the Broncos get Micah Parsons, who very well could be the best defensive player in the draft. Vic Fangio's scheme here, he's going to play inside. They're going to blitz him a ton. He actually can get some reps on the outside as well. I would love him on a 4-3 team as well, kind of play outside linebacker, actually. On early downs and play like an edge rush spot. That sounds good to me. So Parsons, very versatile, freaky dude. Cowboys, I'm back and forth on Jaycee Horn or Surtain. The good news is, there's really no wrong answer. If you take one or the other, I'm not going to it's not going to be a big difference for me in terms of grading. You guys know I'm never in love with taking a corner in the top 10. I do like these guys. It's not like it's bad or anything. But when it's Surtain, I can argue both sides. Horn, I think, a little better with man coverage, press, a little more physical in his press, and could chase guys across the field. Surtain struggled a little bit on the underneath, if he has to play man across the field. But really good, I think, along the sideline, better than Jaycee Horn. So Surtain a little taller, but Horn has that length, so it's going to be interesting to see they got that length, longer. Dan Quinn acquired that longer corner last year. AJ Terrell does that. It may not mean anything, but, kind of back and forth on that. They could go either route there, Surtain. And then Rashawn Slater drops right into the Giants' lap. Again, the buzz is he's going to go before Penei Sewell. I don't think it's a guarantee. It's really going to depend on who trades up, who's the team the Chargers. Again, I think Sewell's a better fit. There's a couple teams like that some teams like Slater more. It's going to be like that. It's going to be like that. So he falls through. I think this is the latest Slater or Sewell goes. I think it's the latest. The Giants, the Giants can go multiple routes here. I think they'll like Jaylen Waddle. They may like they'll probably like DeVonta Smith as well, but I thought about Waddle. I really thought about Jaylen Phillips too. They need, as good as this defense is, it's pretty damn good. Love the new coaching staff there they got last year. They can't be the best defense in football, in my opinion, though, without actual edge rush. They can be very, very good. What's slightly going to hold them back is they need better edge rush. They got some young guys that could step up. I like Lorenzo Carter's upside, but at the end of the day, they need to get better. So they could go Jaylen Phillips here, a guy like that, and hopefully they don't reach. I could see them liking Azeez Ojulari. I wouldn't be against that, really. Maybe trade back a little bit. But I think in this scenario, you could be thinking about those situations, but Slater's sitting there. You want Daniel Jones to be the guy. They're building around Daniel Jones. They're giving him everything. The protection has not been good. That's actually a legitimate excuse, perhaps. Small part of it, because mistakes Daniel Jones made, that's on him. But the offense, the protection, he's up there at the top of the NFL. How many percentage of pressured at the quarterback there. So get Slater. Slater started his career at right tackle. I think he can play there. I actually think Andrew Thomas can play right tackle as well, but they both have experience at left. So I think that works out. They may prefer Slater over Sewell unless they have a plan to put Andrew Thomas at right tackle, because I just like Sewell at left tackle. Eagles go DeVonta Smith, wide receiver from Alabama. We see them recently add a linebacker. Eric Wilson's a pretty good pickup. They needed to get some linebackers that can cover. That's what they do. They get that receiver. Enough messing around with the maybe receivers. Get the sure thing receiver. It's DeVonta Smith. You're going to get good production from him. The Lions traded back. They get the receiver in Jaylen Waddle, who can play in the slot and play outside. They definitely need weapons out there, and I think they'll like him or Smith. Vikings go Elijah Vera-Tucker, offensive lineman USC. A lot of buzz on him lately. It sounds like he has a shot to go top 10, so based on what I'm hearing, this is probably the latest he goes. I just couldn't squeeze him in. If I have Sewell and Slater gone before the Giants very well could take Elijah Vera-Tucker too. Some teams like him at tackle, some teams like him at guard. A lot of upside there. Doesn't have a whole bunch of experience at left tackle, still played well. So the Vikings could go corner too. Really thought about Jaycee Horn for them. Thought about pass rush for them as well, because the Vikings got a situation at cornerback with their former first-round pick in trouble off the field, and they would like Horn, but they need offensive line so bad, and Vera-Tucker getting a lot of buzz. Panthers grab that corner, though. They need a corner, and they need offensive line. They go with the value here. Horn slips through, and they grab him to pair with Dante Jackson. I know they picked up A.J. Bouye. Nothing guaranteed there. I think they could use one in the slot as well, but Horn just too valuable to pass up there. I think they'll like him. Cardinals would be interested in Surtain or Horn. A lot of buzz that Christian Barmore, he could even go in the top 15 from what I'm hearing. I got him at 16. I actually think this is a pretty good fit. The media hasn't hyped him up too much. Apparently the league's way higher on him, so people probably aren't going to like this pick. I think he's really good on stunts. I think we'll see a lot of stunts for the Cardinals defense with J.J. Watt, with those pass rushers. Barmore can play. J.J. Watt's going to play 3-4 end. Barmore could play 3-4 defensive tackle. We'll see if they have somebody step up at nose tackle, but they're set at their actual outside linebackers, which is their edge rushers. So I do think it'll be a fit. I think those top two corners fit, but they are off the board at that point. But we'll look out for Barmore in this range. If the Patriots stay put, Patriots are a possibility. The Lions, if they trade back, they're a possibility, but it's something to look out for. To me, it's maybe a little early. I would like to fit with the Cardinals, but That's just based on what we're hearing. People view him as upside, can play multiple positions across the D-line. And the Cardinals do need D-line. People think about looking at their pass rush. They got J.J. Watt. They got these edge rushers. That's great, but their actual defensive line with J.J. Watt is definitely on the weaker side there, so they could benefit from adding him. Next group pick, I keep having Tevin Jenkins here. He's been another guy that's been getting a ton of buzz lately. Teams around this range are going to be interested in this guy. So we actually could see a trade up for him. Teams like the Titans, potentially Steelers, or those teams there. Maybe the Jets. But yeah, I like him plug and play right tackle for the Raiders. So they add him there. Zaven Collins to the Dolphins. I think it's a good fit there. Get a Kyle Van Noy replacement, but a younger one can do a little more at this point. Really good in coverage, reading the quarterback, can rush as well, blitz. Very good in the run game. So I think they'll view him as a fit. So and I got him going 18. Washington, Christian Darsaw. So another guy that can go much, much earlier. Probably the latest he goes, to be honest. But Washington gets him, and he probably plug him in right at left tackle. I think some teams will actually like him at right tackle. Washington plays him at left here. Bears go Rashad Bateman, receiver, Minnesota. They try to add Kenny Golladay, so they add another playmaker here. It could make sense to go with one of like the true slot guys, and they can benefit from that. So it just depends on there's really no wrong answer. Bateman, Elijah Moore, guys like that. But they go Bateman. Colts go Jaylen Phillips, my number one pass rusher in the class. This will be fantastic for them. They need edge rush pretty bad. They do need a left tackle. I think it's a common theme that I mention this every time that, there isn't a great fit at the same time of, I guess some of them are fits. It's way too much of a reach here, way too much. They could trade back. I still think there's going to be a better edge rusher than there is tackle in terms of value if they trade back. You can't pass up a guy like Phillips. I think he can fit any scheme, so fit the Colts scheme perfectly fine. I think a pick like this will boost that Colts defense because they are missing pass rush right now. And their offensive line is going to be pretty good. They do need to complete it for a guy like Carson Wentz, but their offensive line is going to be pretty good no matter what. Right now, their edge rush group is not going to be good the way it sits. They're trying to get Jadeveon Clowney as well. It sounds like he's going to land with the Browns, but who knows? Even if they do get him, it's on a long-term answer. He has injury concerns. They got to go for the value here in Phillips. That can boost them big time. Titans go Greg Newsome, corner from Northwestern. Another guy that's soaring up boards. I guess the risk with him is not a big sample size. Northwestern didn't play that many games this year, but he looked great in all of them. Before this year, he looked solid, didn't really look like a first-round pick, and missed games in every single year. People talk about the injury concern of Caleb Farley. It's understandable. I don't think Newsome really should be far off in that category, but he's a heck of a ball player that already showed can improve, be coachable, and has upside. Titans, it's really going to fall on their thoughts on Christian Fulton, really. We just don't know how much they like him. We just really don't know. Missed some games last year. Didn't play a whole lot. They finally got him going a little bit. Do they view him as outside the slot or the slot? They played him a little bit of both. They got Janoris Jenkins, 2-year deal. He's kind of aging. They got Kevin Johnson. It's kind of just depth. So it's really going to fall on their thoughts. How much they trust a guy like Christian Fulton, which has upside, but get another young guy, maybe pair with him. It's a possibility. Titans can go in number of routes here. I had Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah falling. I don't think he gets by this point. I think Robert Saleh still looking for that coverage linebacker of the future. Super important for their scheme, and they get one of the best coverage linebackers we've ever seen. So they do need offensive line pretty bad, but how could you pass on this? Just so valuable to them. Steelers actually go pass rush. The more I'm thinking about it, they really could value the edge rush position in this class. I like Alex Highsmith. He was one of my sleepers last year. They got him. He looked pretty solid. You see the difference with and without Bud Dupree. There's no guarantee with Highsmith. I thought he got good pressure. He didn't get the quarterback a whole bunch, but it was his rookie year, But they value having 3 studs out there, and Bud Dupree is gone, and getting a guy like Jason Away, who they could develop. I mean, TJ Watt was supposed to be pretty raw, and he was dominant, felt like right off the bat, at least in year 2. I mean, just that good. We saw it right away. He wasn't supposed to be there by year 2. He wasn't. So Jason Away, he has the tools. He definitely has the athletic traits. Mike Tomlin, sign me up. That's what I'm thinking there. I think he could start over Highsmith, but they had to get that rotation going. So if this team's going to do what they do, if they're going to make the playoffs, make a push, what is it going to be because? It's going to be because the defense. Is the defense there right now? And with Mike Tomlin and some pieces like TJ Watt, it can be, but it's nowhere near as good as it was last year on paper, at least. So add that pass rusher. I think it's a possibility, actually. Don't see it often, though, but I do think it's a strong possibility. I have the Jags going to receiver. I go Kadarius Toney here. They don't really have a true slot receiver. A guy like Chenault could play there, but I think just it's going to be a Trevor Lawrence offense, Urban Meyer offense here. They're going to be passing the ball a lot. They're going to get creative. So just get the best weapons you possibly can get here. And Kadarius Toney, you can get creative with him, obviously. So they have enough picks where they can do this. Just get the best playmakers. Just get the best talent. That's what they brought Urban Meyer in for. Basically, he's basically the GM right now, too. Just get the best talent. Just get the best talent there. We got a ton of picks. We got time to make this work. Just go out there and get it. That's what they do here. Browns are closing in on a guy like Jadeveon Clowney. He does have other teams interested, but I don't think that really changes much for them. Clowney is probably going to be a one-year deal. He has injury concern. There's chances he's not going to play every game this year. He's a very, very talented guy. I still think they're looking out for the future here. Kwity Paye. It sounds like he actually could drop a little bit. It's rare that edge rushers this good, Paye, Aguilari, are here around this range, but I think the quarterback talent pushes them down. Maybe the offensive line talent as well. But the Browns go Paye. He's a good fit. Ravens, another great fit. Azeez Aguilari had this a lot. A pass rusher that also can drop in coverage. Fantastic tape, and the Ravens would love to have him. They're also in on Jadeveon Clowney. Doesn't look like they're going to land him. But then they grab a guy like Aguilar. Jamin Davis, linebacker, Kentucky. He's a guy that's soaring up boards. Really good tape. A lot of upside. And crazy athletic, and the Saints would like him to pair with Demario Davis. Packers, it's always tough to give the Packers a receiver because are they actually going to do it? I think there's guys in this draft that really fit them, really fit what they're looking for, and it's time to make Rodgers happy. It's time to get over that hump. They've lost some guys. It feels like in terms of their roster, they maybe got a little worse from the NFC Championship game till now in the small offseason, the short offseason so far. But how do you make the team better with one pick? You get a big-time playmaker like this. This offense would be that dominant. So that would be fantastic for them. Caleb Farley dropped a little bit because the injury concern. I still don't think he gets out of the first round, but it's pretty damn close here. But the Bills would love to have him, pair him with Tre'Davious White there. That'd be fantastic. I got De'Ami Brown sneaking in the first round. I love his tape. Every time I watch him, I like him more and more. I think he's a late first-round receiver. The concerns are he didn't run that many routes. And that would be a concern if you watch a guy and there's some, worry that maybe he can't run routes. Does he have the twitchiness, the quickness, the speed, the athleticism, understanding defenses, understanding coverages, those things, if they stood out, then you would, okay, it's a problem. I don't think it's a problem. De'Ami Brown is super twitchy, super athletic, home run hitter. I mean, he is a Chiefs. Well, I would like him as a fit with the Packers too. He's a Chiefs type receiver though. He is a Chiefs type receiver. Home run hitting guy, perfect with Patrick Mahomes. That would be fun. It'd be very fun. And it didn't surprise me that they took Clyde Edwards-Helaire last year, but I think it surprised a lot of the world, so they could make a pick that really no one's talking about. It's very possible. You can't really base things off the past, though. I'm just saying, in general for the draft, anything's possible. And then Gregory Rousseau to the Bucs, just too good to pass on. I was starting to think maybe he can drop out of the first round, but it's hard to get him out, even though he's one pick away here. It's hard to get him out completely. Just so freaky there. He can play multiple different positions for the Buccaneers that can help him in multiple ways. Just the length is ridiculous and so much upside. So the Bucs pull the trigger there. We go on to round 2. Crazy that I had Trevon Mareg in the second round. Didn't think that would happen. He's a very good safety, the best safety in the class. He can cover. He can tackle. He can run up and read plays. Can play strong, play free. So he's very talented, and that's why maybe he will go in the first. Why maybe he'll drop a little bit. They played a lot of split safety where times, at TCU, neither him or, Washington were the free or strong safety. There's not too many systems that are like that. You'll see some split safety. He's almost free to do what he wants at times, which is impressive. So there's some teams that may like, it's not really going to work in ours. Will he be able to adjust? I think he can, but that'd be a reason maybe he drops a little bit. Jets grab Landon Dickerson here, who could go in the first round. We start to see the talent here. Guys that could go in the first round here in the second. They can plug him in at center or guard. Falcons get Travis Etienne, get their running back there. Potentially could go first. Dolphins get their running back, Najee Harris. Eric Stokes also can go first. I like his versatility. you wonder, is he a man corner? Is he a zone corner? You one second, like he's a man. No, he's a zone. That's a good thing. He's pretty scheme versatile. I guess coverage versatile there. I guess when he goes to tackle, he wants to tackle, can tackle. I think you can kind of push him back for some extra yards, though. I guess that's the flaw there. But the Eagles grab him, pair him with Darius Slay. Jalen Mayfield for the Bengals could play right tackle or guard. I like him at guard a little better. Panthers get Samuel Cosmi. They can put him at left tackle. Broncos go Davis Mills. He's been getting some buzz that he could sneak in the first round. I wouldn't be for that, really, but okay with it here. And the Broncos kind of miss on their guy in the first, so they get Davis Mills to battle with Drew Lock. Levi Onwuzurike from Washington. Big fan of his tape. So explosive. The get-off is ridiculous off the line. I think you play multiple positions there. Pair him with Brockers would be fantastic pick. I got a first-round grade on him. Giants get Nick Bolton, a guy to plug on the inside linebacker position. 49ers get Asante Samuel Jr. Fits their heavy cover 3 scheme, in my opinion. Joe Tryon, another pass rusher that can sneak into first. Cowboys grab him. Wyatt Davis to the Jags, looking out for guard of the future, maybe right now. Panthers get that Patriots pick and grab Terrace Marshall, familiar with Joe Brady's offense, and they add the other receiver with their group there for Sam Darnold. Lions get that extra pick from the Chargers. They grab a linebacker now, Jabril Cox. Almost a safety. He's almost a safety. He's so good in coverage. He is built like today's style linebacker. A couple years ago, probably be undersized. You probably would play safety. He could be a little better attacking the ball on the ground. He doesn't want to go fire at, off the ball at people like maybe like a Nick Bolton. Doesn't take, takes the safer angles, give up somebody, some extra yards, but he's so damn good in coverage. You could even use him in the slot. So he'll probably go in the second round. Raiders go Javon Holland, safety, Oregon. I'm hearing, rumors that there's a lot of teams that like him as a free safety. So the Raiders could use him as a free safety. It just shows how talented he is because he's a good free safety. He played there in 2018. He opted out in 2020. 2018, he played free. 2019, he played a little bit of everything, but mainly strong/slot guy. So some league will be pretty much split. He's just so good at finding and attacking the ball. That team will be good with putting him anywhere. I really like him as a strong, but I'm good with him anywhere, though. So the Raiders could use him at free, but can get creative with him. Cardinals get their corner. They go Tyson Campbell, long athletic man corner from Georgia. Quinn Miners to the Dolphins. I like Quinn Miners for the Dolphins. I think it's a really good fit there. Another guy that could go earlier. Washington grabs Kellen Mond. I like Mond. He's got so much upside. He got so much upside. Hopefully he lands with the right team. Washington will be fantastic. And they got a pretty good quarterback room there. A good trio there to battle. Afatu Melifonwu, been up on my board. Long, physical, strong, athletic corner. Got good tape. It's not like he's really that raw and has the the athletic traits you need to work with. It's really not like that. He's got pretty damn good tape. The only flaw I really got is he kind of gives up that easy curl underneath play. Kind of plays too far off at times. So just have him press more because he's pretty good at that. So the Bears grab him to pair with Jalen Johnson there. Titans grab Rondale Moore, add another receiver there from Purdue. Liam Eichenberg falls to the Colts here at 54. I think this is more of his range. Sometimes you see him in the first. I wouldn't like him in the first. So the Colts grab their pass rusher and tackle. Javonte Williams to the Steelers. Kind of had that a bit. Would love that pick. Aaron Robinson kind of replacing Shaq Griffin there. The corner from Central Florida. I like Aaron Robinson. I think it's kind of a risk taking him, though, at the same time. Remember, he was actually at Alabama, and he got playing time at Alabama. He ends up transferring to Central Florida. And was pretty damn good for them. He's a little up there in age compared to the rest of the corners. I think he's going to be 24, so you don't like that. But the risk is because he played mainly slot. He played both slot and outside. In a game, like one play he'll be slot, one play he'll be outside. That's hard to do. He played more slot. I'm not jumping out of my seat for him in the slot. I like him outside. So I want a team to take him, put him outside. I guess you go off a little bit of a hunch there because it does feel like a slot corner right now. So you take him this early to put him at outside, in my opinion. If it doesn't work out, I guess you can put him in the slot. But, I'm kind of banking on him progressing as an outside corner. Trey Smith to the Rams. Amon-Ra St. Brown to the Ravens. They get the receiver guy that can play inside and out. Milton Williams to the Browns. In there with Sheldon Richardson, kind of getting ready for the future. I love Milton Williams, though. Can rush from different spots. Freaky athlete. Kelvin Joseph to the Saints, they get their corner. Joseph's another guy that can go late first, and he's available here. So you're seeing how good this draft class is. Bills get their pass rusher, Carlos Basham. Power rusher, really good hand technique. Packers get Alex Leatherwood, who they probably put at guard, but could play tackle as well. I like his upside at guard. Chiefs get a tackle, who also can play guard, but I like him better at tackle this time around. Dylan Redunce. And the Buccaneers get the quarterback of the future, perhaps, with Kyle Trask there. There's random people out there that think, okay, a couple people around the NFL, Davis Mills could sneak in the first round. Then you hear from another group of people, maybe it's just a person that you trust. Kellen Mond could sneak in the first round. And then you hear from somebody else, Kyle Trask could sneak in the first round. They're all not going to sneak in the first round, but based on what you're hearing, it's not surprising that one of those guys very well could end up sneaking in the first round. Team can trade back in because remember, first-round picks get that fifth-year option. You tend to like that for quarterbacks specifically, even though it is pretty expensive, but there'd be a reason to do that. So it is possible. It's just hard to figure out which team that I can have trade up in there. Which team will it be? That's a tough part there, but yeah, I mean, this is, we knew it was a pretty good draft class, but as soon as you make a mock, like when I was making this mock, you realize the guys that are still there, like this guy can go in the first round, this guy can go in the first round, this guy, so it's going to be fun. So, everyone's going to get better, so it's going to be fantastic. Cannot wait for the draft. We will have you covered for that. We'll have more of these mock drafts. You guys are doing that fan voting mock draft on Twitter as well. Excited about everything we got going on. We got my prospect rankings are finally around the corner here. Hopefully, sometime this week. We're working hard on those. So very excited. So join us, subscribe, smash that like button, follow us on Twitter. Very, very important there. Link pinned in the comments for anything that you need there. That's going to do it, though. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.